Coffee check. Dog check. Hey, it's Cliff, and now that I'm finally moved into my new place, I'm definitely getting settled. I decided that it was time to set up my hardware wallet, make sure everything was good to go. So I added all the accounts back into the software, made sure that everything looked correct, and I came across Corium that showed that I had 4 months of stake rewards that I had not claimed yet. So I took the time and got that profit out and restaked it in there, so I'm making a little bit more Corium on my Corium. And it got me thinking, I haven't looked at the news for Corium or Sologenic in a good 4 months. So in this video, I'm gonna look at the price action of Coreum and Sologenic just to see what they've been doing in the past 4 months, because I haven't kept up with it at all. And then I wanna see if I can find any news, see what they're building on. Is anything actually going on with this project, or is it dead? Now, if you haven't watched my videos before, I am pretty honest with what I see going on with the project. So if you are a moon boy for Sologenic or Corium, this probably isn't the video for you. At the same time, if you want me to just bash Sologenic and Corium, again, probably not for you. Now, I'm looking for good news. That's not to say, oh, somebody built a new NFT project. I don't give a fuck about new NFT projects unless it has some amazing utility that no one's ever thought of. I don't care about that. I want to know, are people actually using this chain for something that is wonderful and is going to blow people's minds, and people are going to flood into this chain and it's going to make us so much money? But if that's not what I see, I'm gonna tell it like it is. So I brought up the price here of Sologenic. As you can see, it's not up, so that's not great. But you know, the entire crypto market for the most part hasn't been up. So I can be a little bit forgiving as long as they're building on this project. As you can see from the side comments, people are already saying this is a scam, that's it, it's the end of your pump. And pretty much people aren't too happy. This guy said he's waiting for Q3 announcement, so maybe there's something good coming in the future. So just looking at this, obviously I'm not impressed with the price. Nobody's impressed with the price. It's not good, but you know, we're still waiting on that massive Bitcoin bull run, which hopefully will push money into altcoins. So just moving on from there, here's Corium. This to me is even more depressing. Just looking at this, you know, most people have bought in way higher than what it's at now at 9 cents. And when you factor in staking rewards, most people are not making money still. There's this idea in the crypto industry that if I'm staking and the coin is multiplying, I'm somehow making money. But if you look at the charts and you're down still, you're down even with those additional coins, you're not making money. So that's never a good sign. So just to put in perspective where the market's at, I'm gonna pull up Bitcoin and show you that it is currently pumping. We're sitting at 64K, almost 65. If I pull back on the yearly chart, the all-time high is 73, we could say 74,000. So we're approaching those new all-time highs. Right now, Bitcoin is pumping because of former President Trump picking a vice president who is actually pretty in favor of Bitcoin. So that's why we got this great news, and we're getting a little bit of a pump in here. But the issue I have is as we look at this Bitcoin pump, if we go back Corium, they're not receiving any of this data. So that worries me that there could be some downward pressure on Corium so much that there's probably not a whole lot of profit to be made there. Some people could say, hey, the developers are selling. I know that's been brought up in the past that some of the main individuals of this company are pushing down that downward pressure. Obviously, that's not proven. We don't know, but just looking at the charts, somebody is obviously pushing down on the price of Corium. We don't know. It could be somebody from the rich list. You know, they have a huge supply and they're just taking this opportunity to make some cash. I know if I was in their position, I would do the same thing. So I can't really blame them. And just to kind of further cement this belief, this is XRP. Now, in the past, Corium has kind of traced along with XRP. When XRP gets a little bump in there, you know, the price rises a little bit. Typically, Corium would follow a little bit, but as you can see now, Corium's not moving at all. So that again makes me think that there is heavy downward pressure on Corium. But all of this could be okay. If there's great news coming ahead, some massive utility, then it's okay for these coins. They'll have so much money pumping into these markets that we can still make money, hopefully. So let's go ahead and pull up the news and see if there's anything there. So I'm really only going back about a week or so just to see what typically has been done. But if there was some massive news within the past 4 months, I'm sure we would actually see it. If there's something in this video that you want me to report on with these projects, please put it down in the comments and I'll look into it. I'm absolutely going to be fair when it comes to these projects. If there is something that you find that is super cool, let me know. I want to know. I'm invested, right? I want this to actually go up. So just kind of start things off here. There's a video that they posted dealing with the main developer that they have on the Sologenic project. So let's go ahead and see what he has to say.
Why should, more importantly, all of the developers here, the blockchain users here, start to think about interoperability now in their use cases on chain?
Well, to me, interoperability is a trustless and decentralized way for value, assets, and data to move across different chains.
Sure.
It is crucial, essentially, for two groups of users. End users, where they get better liquidity, more seamless experience using blockchain. And for the second group of users, which are the developers and the builders on the ecosystem, they can scale really fast with interoperability, and brings more innovation because interoperability allows developers to use different functionalities of different chains. As you know, there are 20,000 blockchains around, and each excels in doing one thing really good. By leveraging interoperability, developers can actually utilize different things from different chains.
Okay, so that was a interoperability word salad there, but basically what he's saying is as long as the chains can cross over with each other, they can get the functionalities of each of the chains that they're going to cross the tokens on, which, okay, that's great. We want the chains to be connected, but if the chains don't have any use case, then we don't care about crossing over tokens, right? So again, I'm back to where I was at the beginning of this video. I want to see what actual use cases are being brought into Corium. I don't care that it can go over to a different chain. That's great. Yeah, you want the chains to have interoperability because it's easier to pass different kind of financials across the different chains. Obviously, you're going to look at a big pump depending on what utility is the actual best utility that people are using. But again, it goes back to why do people actually need Corium, or in this case, Sologenic? And just to switch to Corium news, I have a tweet from Corium that says, alongside Wave 4, Corium is launching a dedicated program to help the XRPL native projects expand their cross-chain capabilities, connect to 100 plus ecosystems via IBC compatibility, introduce smart token features, and become part of the super ledger. So again, they are throwing out money to have people build on the XRPL, which again comes back to people saying, please, somebody use these chains. Somebody pump money into these chains. We are going to throw money at you just to have you develop some reason to bring people here. To put this in really simple terms, it's kind of like somebody owning a warehouse and you're telling them, I will give you the first month free if you come into my warehouse and you start a gym or coffee shop, whatever business you're gonna start. That's pretty much what they're doing. They're saying, please, somebody utilize my warehouse so that I can actually start getting a profit rolling in. So if you wanna be a part of that, I have brought up on the screen, here are their development grants. If you have a cool idea you wanna bring to Corium, they'll pay you for it. You just have to bring the idea, you just have to develop on their chain, and hopefully people actually want to use your business. So here's really the meat of what's been going on the past 4 months that I haven't really been looking at this. This is actually a tweet from not too long ago. It's from the 8th, so about a week ago. And it says the Corium 4 upgrade adapting to the needs of enterprise is an evolving effort. With the Corium network upgrade version 4, builders can take advantage of enhanced smart token features and strengthen security. For dynamic NFTs to smart token extensions, check out some of the updates coming to the super ledger below. So this is actually where the meat of what they've been doing probably is into this. I haven't looked into it too much, but we can kind of dive in now. All right, so just looking at it, it says version 4 smart token enhancement give builders and enterprises customizable options when designing token models and managing their ecosystems. Okay, so what does it provide? Zero precision, no fractional units, okay, clawbacks, users can retrieve tokens, okay, and role separation, which obviously is gonna strengthen your security, which is just basic IT kind of stuff. So moving down, it says V4 development enhancement make building on the Superledger seamless with added language support and easy DevNet creation. So it looks like they're bringing in a little bit more languages so more people can develop on Corium, which is obviously great. Not everybody knows the same language. I'm not sure exactly how people are building on Corium, but the more languages that you can have in a project, even better. So I'm all for it. And so alongside that tweet, they did post this Medium article that actually goes into a little bit more depth of what this upgrade brings. And it says Corium goes version 4, smart token extensions, IBC hooks, dynamic NFT data. So within this, hopefully we can find a little bit more. It shows extensions. You can now attach a smart contract to smart tokens, unlocking endless possibilities by executing custom code before and after any action. Okay, cool. That zero precision feature, it says smart fungible tokens can now be created and managed without fractional units. This provides greater flexibility in tokenomics design, especially for use cases where whole units of tokens are more practical and desirable, such as in reward systems or digital collectibles. Okay, that makes sense. As you're trying to get kind of like the VV stuff, if you're trying to do that, like with comic books and all that, it's probably better to have something like that. Clawback feature. The clawback feature allows users to retrieve fungible tokens that have been distributed under certain conditions. This is particularly useful in scenarios where tokens were sent by mistake or need to be reclaimed due to regulatory requirements or terms of service violations. Okay, we have role separation, which is more like an admin function. We don't really care about that too much, although it is important. It doesn't really scream to us that this is gonna make us money, right? That's not really like that big of a deal to us. So yes, there's role separation. You definitely need that for any kind of system or software, or blockchain, or whatever you're working on. So let's go ahead and skip over that. All right, development enhancements. Go.work, a file used by Go, a programming language, to manage multiple modules within a single workspace. It simplifies the development of workflow by allowing developers to work on several related modules simultaneously without needing to switch contexts or manually handle dependencies between them. This makes module management more efficient and streamlined, facilitating better organization and coordination during the development process. So they're just making it easier for developers to actually work on this blockchain. We want it to be the most user-friendly, but also developer-friendly. So people are actually coming into the project. Again, we want people to build on Corium. We need a use case, because if there's not a use case, people are not going to use the tokens. They're not going to pump the tokens, and we're not going to get fucking rich, right? Generate DevNet, a CLI command, is a tool introduced to facilitate the setup of development network DevNet or Corium. This command allows developers to quickly and easily create a local DevNet environment, which is essential for testing. This is just a CLI is command line interface. It's just like a development tool. Another thing that's not necessarily going to get you rich, but it does make it easier to build on Corium. So cool. And they kind of go into NFTs here. It says this update has enabled NFT data modification, allowing for dynamic changes to NFT properties. This flexibility is crucial for NFTs that represent evolving assets such as game items or digital art that can change over time. Complementing this, dynamic data proto files have been introduced, supporting more advanced and sophisticated NFT functionalities. Okay, so they're making changes to the NFTs to support gaming, digital art kind of thing. So that's cool. It's controversial within the gaming space. A lot of gamers don't like NFTs at all. Why? I don't really get it. I tried to understand why they don't like it. I think they just kind of have a hatred for the blockchain. It just seems like it. And, in some cases, I get it, because when it comes to cryptocurrencies, a lot of scams are out there. And when you're playing a game, you're relaxing, you don't have to deal with all these scams. It's just a reputational thing. And hopefully we can overcome that. As I'm scrolling down, I see security updates, compliance enhancements, nothing that is really gonna move the needle for your average user as far as like the user experience to make this pump, but it is for development, it is for security. So in that sense, it is good, because if we don't have security and good development practices, of course the user's not going to stick around, because they're going to look at us like one of those scam tokens. They do kind of talk about IBC hooks, integrated IBC hooks to facilitate more seamless and efficient cross-chain communication, enabling better interoperability between Corium and other blockchain networks, which is what you just saw in that video that I just played, where they're talking about your interoperability of the different blockchains. So this is actually kind of cool. I'm reading this, interchain accounts. So it says enabled for seamless cross-chain account management, allowing users to manage accounts across multiple blockchains more efficiently. This simplifies the user experience and improves cross-chain interaction. So if you have one simple account that you can actually use for multiple chains, that sounds like it's going to be more user friendly. You're not juggling a bunch of different accounts, but at the same time, that makes me think, okay, well, how secure is that? If my main account is hacked, do I lose everything? How's that going to work? So it brings questions, but it is a cool idea because you want it to be user efficient. But looking through that, that's about all the main updates that I really see. I didn't dive into it too deeply. And again, I have not really looked into the news for the past 4 months. So that there is a project out there that you want me to look into that is going to just blow the Corium ecosystem away, is something that's going to bring so much money. It's going to be the best business. This is like the next Google that's being built on Corium. Please put that down in the comments and I will definitely look into that. Just to give you another idea of utility, this guy here, his name is CoinHolder, posted this. So just pulling up the video here for this video master. I haven't looked into this project a lot, but I'm just looking at this video here. It says no censorship, stream payments, chain payments, Web3, no censorship, all of this. So this is an idea that they could basically make the next YouTube, but it's going to use Corium, right? That's a cool idea. Now, this has been done in the past. There was a company, I'm kind of blanking on what the name was, Odyssey, I think is what they were called. But they didn't go too far. They were trying to do the no censorship thing and they were going to pay you in their own version of the crypto. I think they actually got sued by the US government, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, this is a good idea as long as it can take off. Just because one company failed doing it doesn't mean that it's not going to work, right? So I like it, especially as a content creator. I like the idea that you can have a no censorship platform that pays you in crypto. It goes straight to your wallet. You know, that's a cool idea. But to have something like that, you have to have users. You have to have people actually watching these videos, right? And typically for a platform like that, you're going to need some kind of ad revenue, things like that. So cool ideas are out there. I'm sure we just got to kind of look for them in our investments and also encourage people to develop on the chain. And that's still, after 4 months, that's kind of where we're at. We need people to actually use the chain. We need cool ideas and cool projects. So as always, thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it so much, and I will see you in the next one.